as you guys could probably tell in the footage, just the lightest dusting of snow is starting to come through down here at this elevation. So it's this really pretty mix of all the green and little bits of snow powdered in. So right behind me is the world famous Mirror Lake. Just kidding, I don't know if it's actually world famous, but they do have a beer named after it. It's called Mirror Pond Ale, made by Deschutes Brewery. It's a really good beer. Unfortunately, there's no view of Mount Hood right now. Usually there's like a really epic view, and I thought up here in the snow would be a super pretty sight to see, but either way, it's really something else out here. Now you could actually continue on this trail up over there somewhere to another mountain, and I would love to do that, but it is kind of later in the day to get started on that, seeing as it gets dark so early these days. I mean, up here in the Northwest, it gets dark at like 4:30, 4:45. It's already 2:30, so I don't plan on doing any night hiking, but I'll have to come back up here. I think there's even like a warming hut somewhere up at the top, which would be really fun to go check out. But for now, this pretty lake will have to do. Potato chip in sandwich. One last look at the lake here. Sure is pretty. All right, let's get back to the truck. It is pretty dang nippy out right now. Pretty dang nippy. Now you would look at this little bridge footpath over here and you would assume that it's stable, right? Well, maybe you wouldn't assume that, but I did, and I was walking across, and then all of a sudden I realized, like, oh crap, the whole freaking piece of wood is sinking, and before you knew it, my boots were like fully submerged, and I jumped to the next one, and then that one started sinking, and I had to scramble and get off the path. It was a whole episode. It was a whole ordeal. What a freaking primo spot. Epic view. Great fire ring right here next to where I'll be sleeping. And it's a little bit lower down the mountain, so there's not snow covering everywhere like there was when I started at the top of the trail, which is a good thing. It's gonna get quite cold tonight. It's already pretty cold, and I'm used to being pampered and spoiled with my big, hard-sided truck camper. So sleeping back in a little camper shell with a buddy heater is gonna be an adjustment, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine. And most importantly, I have a fire pit, so you best believe I'm gonna start up a fire here in the next couple minutes. But man, feels good to be back out here. This is exactly what we dream of as dispersed campers. This is the type of spots that are just chef's kiss, you know? Check it out, guys. I just got some new shoes for the truck. We got the Falcon Wild Peak AT4W. These got some seriously aggressive tread, and they look really, really good. I'm excited to test out these AT4Ws. I've had several pairs of Falcon Wild Peak AT3Ws. I think I've had a total of 3 or 4 different sets on different rigs or whatever, and I was extremely happy with them, and I know they're very popular tires. So the new ones, the new version, the AT4W, very excited to see how they hold up, and I'll definitely keep you guys posted and let you know how they work out if you guys are interested. So when I got out of the truck, when I first pulled up to this spot, I stepped in a very large pile of crap. And when I mean large, I mean, at first I saw it and I thought somebody for sure must have pooped right there and didn't bother to bury it or whatever, like a total pig. But I'm not so sure it was human poop. I don't know. I hope not. But that being said, these boots are going away for now and breaking out the old reliable blunt stones. If it was human poop, that's a total shame that somebody would poop right here on the side of a camping spot, not even bother to bury it or anything. And I pray that it isn't human poop, because that's just gross. I would probably be better off just burning these if they were human poop. But how can you know, right? I guess the best thing I can do is give them a good wash and tell myself that it was dog poop, a very large dog. While there's still a little bit of light left, let me just quickly show you guys the setup that I'm working with today. You guys might have seen my last video, but this is my simple camper shell build out that I recently acquired. For my mattress, I'm using a good old piece of Future Foam, 3-inch thick, Home Depot, 20 bucks. Highly recommend if you don't want to spend a lot on a mattress. It's very comfortable. I got this very cozy, fuzzy blanket on top just for laying down on. Got a 0-degree sleeping bag I'll be using, power station, bag of groceries, curtains that were already on the camper shell when I got it. Got an electric plug-in fridge and a bunch of like storage tubs and random miscellaneous items, including the stove, where it appears that I'm missing a piece. So I'll have to find that later. But yeah, got a light up there. Tonight I'm gonna be using the good old buddy heater for warmth, and we're chilling. So earlier this week, I was actually up on the Olympic Peninsula, which is way up in northern Washington. It's pretty much the furthest point north that you could get in the lower 48. And this time of year, the Olympic Peninsula, super pretty, very moody vibe, classic Pacific Northwest, if you will. I decided that it would be a good time to go up there, spend a few days, camp, and really just, take in the sights and sounds of the Olympic Peninsula. Now, this time of year, the weather up there is definitely not known for being ideal, but I figured that it'd be fine. I'd be all right. So Kaya and I headed up there, and we spent the day exploring around the peninsula. We did a little bit of hiking. We even did some off-roading, which was cool. But anyways, it was a great day. We had a great time. And we got to our camp spot pretty late in the evening. It was an epic camp spot, one of the most epic spots that I've ever gotten to stay at. And we got there just before sundown, and as I'm starting to get set up, it started to rain, and Kaya was running around, so she was getting all wet. And I was trying to transfer stuff out of the truck bed to clear up more space. I was bringing stuff in to the truck bed that I would need for the night. And I'm shuffling things around, running back and forth, starting to get pretty flustered because, I'm filming, so my camera is just getting completely soaked. Kaya's getting completely soaked. I'm getting completely soaked. And finally, I was able to get everything into the truck bed. I got in, Kaya got in, and by the time we got in there, I realized that I was completely soaked, Kaya was completely soaked, and worst of all, everything in the truck was completely soaked. All of our bedding, the sleeping bags, the pillow, everything in the truck was just drenched. And on top of all that, I just had all kinds of clutter because I was just throwing stuff in, trying to, get out of the rain at a certain point. This truck has a really small bed, so we're all stuffed in there. Everything's soaking wet. There's not enough room to light my, buddy heater to get warm at least. It's freezing cold, and it was just miserable. I don't know how to describe how miserable it is to be stuffed in a truck bed with no space, filled with wet crap everywhere. You're soaked, it's cold. Yeah, it was not fun. It was not fun at all. And in that moment, I realized that this simple truck camping setup is definitely not ideal for winter conditions, especially with the dog. If I was just by myself, maybe, it probably would have been okay. But having a dog with you, and having that dog get soaking wet, and then that dog takes up most of the space inside the truck bed. Oh, yeah, not fun. Oh God, this fire freaking sucks, man. It literally is giving off no heat. It's giving off so much smoke. Safeway firewood sucks. Let's get cooking, eh? There we go. She just needed a little bit of coaxing there. Keeping it really simple tonight. I've got these pre-grilled chicken skewers. I actually got a big batch of these at Costco for quite a good deal. So I'm gonna heat up a couple of these, and that's gonna go with this rice pilaf. And I got some tomatoes and cucumber that I'm gonna be chopping up, as well as some tzatziki sauce that will go on top. So very basic, kind of like Mediterranean inspired, if you will. All right, now I know you're not supposed to do this because microplastics and all that, but every now and again, it's not gonna kill you, right? It's just such an easy, convenient way to heat up rice. But I won't make a habit out of it, I promise. And you guys should not do this. I don't recommend this. But it is easy. It is easy. All right, let's get the chicken going. I actually took it off of the skewers just to make it a little easier and more enjoyable to eat. Oh, just gonna put a little bit of oil on that, like there. There we go. There we go. Might have put a little too much tzatziki sauce, honestly. There's the fire smoke again. Mmm, tasty. All right, folks, I'm now inside the camper shell. It's small, but cozy. As you could probably tell here, there's really not even any room for Kaya as things are currently set up, which is kind of the main reason why I didn't bring her. When I was up in the Olympics, I realized that this setup is not big enough for me and Kaya, at least without some serious rearranging, I guess. So that's hugely unfortunate, but for now it's good for just me. In a moment here, I'm gonna fire on the buddy heater and get it nice and toasty. Running a portable buddy heater in a small enclosed space like this comes with some risks. So in order to minimize those risks, we are gonna do a couple things here. First of all, I'm just gonna crack the window like that. I do have a fire extinguisher on hand, of course, and just a quick public service announcement. If your fire extinguisher has one of these little green buttons on the top, every now and then you want to just periodically click that and make sure that it pops right back up, because if it doesn't pop up, chances are there's no more compression in your fire extinguisher and therefore it will be useless. So fire extinguisher, and another little tool is this carbon monoxide alarm. Always test your carbon monoxide alarm. You don't want to perish from carbon monoxide or from a fire. So those two things, definitely bare minimum if you're gonna be running any type of heater inside your rig, especially a propane heater. Oh yeah, immediately.